Lisa, don't do crystal meth in the bathroom all night long.
That's my opinion!
He will never emotionally fulfill you.
Because I don't want to be a part of it.
Go to sleep! Go to sleep!
Close your legs to married men, trash box.
I'll tell you how I'm doing. Not well, bitch.
Who gonna check me, boo?
What's up, guys? Welcome to Morally Corrupt. If you remember, we have a new channel. Make sure you check it out. Share, like, subscribe, all the things on YouTube. Of course, you can download us wherever, but we are Morally Corrupt. We are officially Morally Corrupt. Don't look for us on anything else. We are just Morally Corrupt now. It's me, Rachel Lindsay, joined by Callie Crerie, of course. We have some very interesting things to get into with the recaps today. I am so excited. I have no complaints. I am excited about every single franchise right now, Callie. Let's start with Salt Lake City. This is also us coming off the heels of interviewing Lisa Barlow, which was...
Yeah, how was that?
Lisa's very charming. Very, very charming. I like Lisa. I feel like, you know, and we've talked about this before. I know from being on reality TV, watching these shows forever, as do you. We know we don't get everything, but I'm not going to recap a show based on what I think is going on behind the scenes. I'm going to do based on exactly what I'm watching. So, of course, Lisa's filling in the holes of what we're not seeing or how long they're filming. And so it's like, yeah, I have a better understanding of her perspective. Doesn't necessarily mean I agree with her, but I totally enjoyed talking to her. We talked for like 15 minutes even after we were done with the podcast. And like her rep had to be like, you got to go. And she's very complimentary. So that may be how it loops you in as well. But I enjoyed her. I really did. I really enjoyed her.
No, I'm just interested to see how you talk about Salt Lake this week.
I'm gonna keep the same energy. I'm gonna keep the same energy. You know, we only had a limited time with Lisa, so we couldn't ask all the questions, and she's long-winded. So there were certain questions that we couldn't get to, but I understand her explanations to every question I asked. But like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean I agree with them. I'm also going to be like, not debate people in an interview. Mm-hmm. I'm going to allow people, like, I think sometimes it's like, I'm going to ask questions. And, you know, when we were getting into the legal stuff, I would poke holes in something that she was saying because she didn't realize I was an attorney. But I'm going to try my best to not be disrespectful and go at people in interviews or like make it too combative.
Yeah,
Just
I mean, also like, I don't think
questions.
Lisa's a bad person, so it's not like you hate her.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, there's
No.
not any like, there's no like bad blood or anything like that. Do I think that she might be lying a little bit? Yes, but
Yeah.
she's lying about her own life. So like, who? I don't care.
Yeah, and it's hard. It's like, well, we're getting Lisa's side of the story. That means we're not getting necessarily the other person's side of the story. So it's just like, you just don't know. You just don't know. So the best thing we can do is ask questions. This episode's we get the new taglines. And I got to tell you, Callie, I don't care about taglines anymore. I used to so look forward to them. And now I'm like, don't care. Didn't even notice. Never even notice.
I never cared. I like voting on them on Queens of Bravo when they put them up. Do we like it, love it, pass, whatever. That's about it. Like, that's all I need for my tagline. I remember you and I went on like a game show about housewives, and taglines was like a big part of the questions. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't pay attention to taglines like that.
Yeah. I don't even notice.
But I do think it's part of the history. So,
no, they should keep them. They should keep them for sure. I just don't even notice that we don't have them. So when it was like, oh, we got them, I'm like, did we not always have them?
Yeah.
But I was
they
just
come
curious
like
as
in
to
episode like 2 or 3 now.
As if we're anticipating them. And I'm not. I don't. You got to give them to us at the beginning. Or remember before, I feel like they used to give them to us before the season even aired. That's different. But with this, it's like, well, once we've started, like, I'm into the drama and the tea. I don't care about the taglines anymore. They don't pop like they used to.
I don't think I'd care no matter when they give it to us. I just don't care. It's like,
well, I used to.
They're like pre-rehearsed. Someone writes them for them half the time. I don't care. I would be more interested if they made the housewives write their own.
I feel like they used to. And then the ladies used to start saying that they were like, well, I had this idea, but they wanted me to do this. And then that's when I was like, oh, okay, so it's not a full thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bronwyn and Todd go to eat. And I have to say, I love a Bronwyn and Todd going out to eat moment. I just love Todd.
Yeah, I do like Todd too. I like Todd even when he was like not nice last year because Todd hates the cameras. That's very clear. He is not into being on this show. He is only doing this to appease Bronwyn. And it comes across. Even though he doesn't say it, it comes across. But because of that, I feel like we don't get a show. Like he is just himself.
Exactly. And I think that's the beauty of it. You know with Todd, it is pure honesty. And I think some people might hang on to his disposition, the fact that you clearly, as you said, doesn't want to be there, maybe the rolling of the eyes. But at the end of the day, he's still filming. And so goes to something, that's something towards the way he feels about Bronwyn and supporting her. We have husbands who just don't show up on other franchises. And even on this franchise, they just don't film. So the fact that he is filming does say something. But you can so see Bronwyn trying to cover it up. And the reason I know that we're filming so much and we're probably really trying to fix the edit is because my hair is in braids right now. But, when I take these out, I'm like, oh, what hairstyle do I want to do? Do I want to go back to the bob? And so I was watching it with someone and he was like, I don't like the side part. And I was like, no, I think I'm going to go to a side part bob when I do it. And so I'm looking at Bronwyn and Bronwyn's side part keeps flipping. So that's how I know that there was, and it's only because I was paying attention to her hair because I was like, I really like her cut. It's really good. Like I have a strong jawline. So does Bronwyn. I just was like, I think this could work for me. And it kept going left, right. And so I'm like, oh, they really were doing a lot of stopping and starting. And I feel like probably overcorrecting whatever the conversation was. But I could just see her being like, honey, and like trying to over explain for him. But I love it. When I see them holding hands walking into a restaurant, I'm like, here we go. We're going to get classic Todd.
Well, sometimes with the Housewives, we'll get scenes where I'm just like, I don't care about this. Like Tamara and her daughter, was that last week or the week before, where they went to the music house or whatever in LA?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't care. Bronwyn and Todd, I was like, what's happening? What's this gonna be about?
And it's so many things. Their dynamic is obviously interesting. The age gap.
By the way,
the
Bronwyn
different
and her mom
lifestyles
also had me cracking up.
Man. Well, at first I was like, is this woman going to speak back? Like Bronwyn comes in all her pomp and circumstance, and the mom's sitting there doing a crossword puzzle. So real life, right? She and Todd probably get along very well. They stick to themselves. They stay in their little space.
They're not trying to be on camera.
Not trying to be on camera. If I truly was like, what is this scene going to be? Because this woman does not want to speak. And then when she did, I was like, be quiet, be quiet,
yeah,
be quiet.
No. And then when she did, I was like, oh, Bronwyn was hoping she did not speak.
It was like, wait a minute.
So good though. But also it just like keeps adding to the fact that I'm like, yeah, Bronwyn is the type of housewife I'm looking for.
So many layers, right? I don't even think we learned much about her parents other than she got pregnant very early and it was hard for her parents. And then obviously, with the father and of her child and all of that stuff, like we knew that, but we didn't know the details of it. Like, I don't even think I knew where her parents lived, any of that. I didn't know that I just didn't know their dynamic, their relationship at all. But man, we learned a lot in 5 minutes.
I could have taken another 5.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you wouldn't have been able to do it without Todd. Damn. There's so much with that.
She was like, I know you're going to be fine because you're going to get through it with Todd. You have Todd.
Todd saved you.
Yeah.
Like, and then that alone, I wanted to hit pause
Also-
and just say, like, let's dissect this.
Her being like, "You're gonna understand soon." Todd's getting up there.
But then I was like, is Todd showing signs of dementia? Like,
Also,
it just,
how old is Todd? Because that mama was coming for his neck.
she was like, I'm grateful for
Ooh,
Todd, but
look.
just letting you know, you're about to turn a corner with Todd. It just also was like, the reason I want to stop and dissect it, because I'm like, are you saying that Bronwyn married Todd because he could save her? Are you saying that Bronwyn, it's an arranged, like, are you, it just, there was just so much with it. I just was like, we need to understand here. What are you saying? You make it seem like you're feeding into some of the suspicions that the audience might have about their relationship.
There's not an exact age for Todd, but it says between 65 and 69.
Oh, wow. Not that he looks younger. I would just thought I was younger. So that's
I thought he was
'cause
about
Bronwyn's-
that.
Bronwyn's what, 39, 40?
You think she's 39?
I'm almost positive because I remember my sister sending me a screenshot like, y'all are the same age. Like, she's younger than me. She was younger than me.
It says Bronwyn's 39.
See? She's younger than me.
And they say that
that's
he is
like
26 years her senior, which would make him 65 or 66.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Maybe, obviously,
mom's
she's
feelings-
married to someone much older. She presents herself much older, which might be on purpose. So it doesn't look like there's such a big age gap. But, like, I know you like older men. Or you say you do.
I used to. Not that.
Well, no, I know. I was gonna say, but I can't picture you with someone like Todd.
No, because there was somebody older that I had like gone on a couple of dates with. And then
How old?
at the time he was 66. Yeah, he was 60. We went on a couple of dates and they were lovely. They were lovely.
But what
Like,
happened?
he's had a lot of life, like a lot of pep in his step, great conversation, like well-traveled, a lot of life experience, obviously. But then he went on vacation and sent me a picture, and all I could focus on were the knees. I was Adriana in that moment. All I could focus on were the knees. And I said,
That's
can't
not what I
do
thought you were
it.
going to say. Was this picture clothed?
His shorts on.
Oh, I thought you were saying.
Oh, yeah. No, he wasn't naked. No,
I
it
thought you
wasn't a
were
nude
saying-
pic. Oh, my God.
I thought you were
Thank
saying.
you. I'm glad we clarified that.
I thought you were saying he sent you a nude and all you could focus on was the knees. I was like, not a good place
No.
to be.
No, I don't send me nudes. I don't like that. But it was the knees. And I just was like, oh, this is 66. And it just wasn't for me. To each their own. Like, I wasn't even, because his spirit was so young. And I actually really enjoyed that. I mean, great conversation.
I just feel like,
And
I guess it depends on where I'm at in my life, but I don't want to describe my partner as having a pep in their step.
I wouldn't. I'm doing that for this conversation. I
I'm
would
just
say
saying.
beautiful conversation, a lot of life experience, just like very intelligent. Just, I mean, like really enjoyed the couple of dates we had, like
Mhm.
hours and hours of conversation. Then I saw the knees. I mean, our second date was supposed to be getting on a plane and going to eat in a different city in California. Like, I was like, I deserve this. I deserve this right now. That's
But you're-
that's
but
what
the
I
knees
deserve
just-
post-divorce. But the knees, it just was a no for me. Anyways, it just reminded me. It basically, if I had not heard Bronwyn's mom before, Bronwyn's mom's voice would have been in my head. It just reminded me that this can turn quickly. Like, age difference, you might be taking care of this. It was just a reminder of, because I never really thought of him that way. It really was age as a social construct. And then I saw that and I was like, he is 66. And I'm
Well,
not.
Bronwyn is getting all 66 because Todd is crotchety.
He didn't look like Todd. This man was fit.
No, I know. I'm saying Todd is crotchety. He and I love
He's
Todd.
a curmudgeon for sure.
Yeah, I love Todd, but that's his vibe is 66.
There's no pep in that step.
No. Even if for some reason Bronwyn thought like he has a young spirit, her mom was reminding her.
And he might have
66.
In the beginning. He might have.
It don't matter.
But that's the thing.
Her mama was letting her know from the beginning.
He might have. Well, most of this episode surrounds Lisa's lunch. And this is the kind of behavior I want out of Salt Lake City. It was over the top. It was ridiculous. It was unnecessary at points, but also necessary for the Salt Lake City of it all. Nobody could really do this or to the level that a Salt Lake City could. And Lisa, I loved that she had the outing before of people she was okay with. I told you that Amy, they're trying to try out and position Amy
she was back again
as a socialite. There's she didn't throw that big party, or as some people were calling it, a conference, for nothing. She threw that party as she's testing. She's testing. And I got to say, she's not doing a good job of showing. I think she's a little bit shocked. She had no idea what she was getting into. She's there. There was one time where she tried to butt in. And even I was like, shut up, Amy. Let the women talk. Be quiet. Either bring something or shut up and observe like the rest of us.
When I saw her at the shooting range, I was like, oh yeah, they're definitely trying to see how this girl mixes in.
Yeah. And it's not a great showing so far. Maybe you need to lead with the socialite part of it. But I love that Lisa separated the women and then she brought everybody there. And immediately the other women were like, this is so shocked. I'm shocked Lisa would invite us to a lunch. And then boom, bam, boom. You saw the poster boards. I loved how Bronwyn and Whitney were like, the Photoshop. Look at this Photoshop. Look at this Photoshop. Look at this blurred. Look at this. It was great.
The poster boards were weird and not done well.
But
they were
necessary.
Blurry. Mary being like, what happened to the clarity? Blurry. She just randomly got a dismissed icon and put it on the thing, which means absolutely nothing. Which Bronwyn may have not gone to college. Bronwyn may not be a lawyer, but it's pretty, Bronwyn was very clearly this literally means nothing. This is laughable. Also Bronwyn asking her, okay, those were dismissed. What about the last one? And Lisa was like, it's on its way. And Bronwyn was like, yeah, but you wrote dismissed over it.
That was the best.
Yeah. And then she was like, it's denied. And Bronwyn was like, no, you guys are denying these claims. That's all that means. That does not mean that the judge has denied this, which I believe that there is still one open lawsuit, at least from what I've read. But that is the lawsuit everyone is talking about because the man opened up an American Express in Lisa's name. I don't think that is that big of a deal if they were in business together, but usually it would be a business credit card. And usually the business name would be on that card.
It might have. And her name. It'll say a business and her name. That's what I got from it.
You have to have a name on, a person's name on it. But the weird thing is that she texted him and did not want John to know about these.
Allegedly.
Yes, allegedly, but he provided the text messages. She did not want John to know about this credit card. That part is weird. It's weird that she has not paid it back. And can't, or at least from what we've seen, she has not identified what she used that credit card for.
Yeah. It was interesting. I understand that she can only say so much because it is an ongoing lawsuit and she doesn't want to jeopardize her case. Fine, fair. She should. She said on our podcast, she's probably said too much. And she's right. She probably already has said too much. But Bronwyn was on point with everything. And even at one point, so like the other lawsuits, it's like a span over 10 years or something like that. Lisa said on our podcast, the last one, and they've been dismissed. But Bronwyn pointed out, well, just because they've been dismissed doesn't mean that you didn't settle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You might have settled some of these
Did you ask
cases.
her that?
I did not ask her that. I left it alone. But I did say, because like, to me, those aren't the issue. Those are done. It's the ongoing case. And what I did ask her was, why, if, because she kept saying, just because they're allegations doesn't mean they're fact. That is very true.
Yeah.
But what I did say to her was, she was like, these mean nothing. These mean nothing. And I said, well, why can't it be dismissed? I go, it's still ongoing, right? Well, if it was frivolous, you can file a motion about it being a frivolous lawsuit and there's nothing and it can be dismissed. I was like, it still hasn't. It's still ongoing. And she kind of like skirted around that answer. But it was like, my questions were more to point out, like, if it was absolutely nothing, right? Then you can file a motion for that.
And it would get dismissed.
And it can get dismissed. But there's some kind of claim that there's enough there where they're like, we're going to continue with this case.
Lisa is correct. These are just allegations, does not mean it's true. Correct. Anyone can sue you for anything. Correct. But to Rachel's point, because anyone can sue you for anything, if there is no evidence or no there, basically, you can get it dismissed pretty quickly.
Yeah.
This case was not dismissed. Which Bronwyn also made a good point. Is it dismissed because there was nothing there, or is it dismissed because you paid them back? And Lisa said it's dismissed because it's none of your fucking business. So seems like they may have been settled outside of the courtroom, which I also agree with Lisa that if you have a business for a very long time, a big business, which I don't think Lisa has, but she has a business, there's chances you can get sued. Like, people get sued, especially in certain businesses. Events is one of them for Lisa. So I can see her getting sued. Is it concerning that all of the suits have to do with not being paid? That is concerning.
And I didn't read them. Is that the case? They all have to do with,
from what I have read online, so I should say allegedly, all of the suits have to do with money.
I want this case to either be done or move forward, something so we can get some more clarity on it. But even if she settles, we won't know about, if she settles, I'm sure there'll be some sort of NDA. And that might be the case with some of the other ones too. And so she can't really, get into the nitty gritty of it. Maybe not. But I definitely asked Lisa about, because we see that kind of come up again this episode, about her saying she lives a different life than the women. And she was like, I stand 10 toes down on that. I absolutely live a different life than these women. And I find it interesting because you said she has a business, and on the podcast, she was like, I have multiple businesses. I have all these businesses. And it seems like one of them is some sort of marketing type business where she collaborates with these events, like red carpet. Like, the reason she wasn't at the RV is because she was at South by Southwest. And so it's like, you live a different life because you're saying you are adjacent to celebrity. But the key word is adjacent. And again, this was not a place for me to go.
Is a stretch.
But this is why I'll say adjacent to celebrity.
She's saying that she's living a different life because she is around celebrities, even though it is adjacent. Her working for them.
Adjacent. Yeah, I would say if I worked in a space where celebrities, that has a celebrity attached to it, you are adjacent to celebrity. They don't know you like that. I'm sure there are some people. So if you're working an event, of course you can get a picture with the people. You're a sponsor. They're there because either, you have an activation or whatever it may be. But they're not walking in saying, oh my God, Lisa Barlow, you're not their plus one. You're not sitting at the table. You are doing an event. Catering could almost say the same. You know what I'm saying?
No, that is what it is.
But of course I wasn't going to, when Lisa's interviewing, I'm not going to say, well, you're adjacent to celebrity. People have to understand, I'm not going to do that in an interview. But I think it's very obvious that you are working events that celebrities are attending. But that doesn't, But she did go on, I will say in the podcast, of like, because of all these businesses, because of, she was like, I have a business with the Bella twins that sold money. It's like, to each their own of how much of a celebrity the Bella twins really are. You know what I mean? They are not Ben Affleck and Blake. They are obviously popular and have a huge following and a big fan base. But, I think that's, if you're going down the alphabet, I don't think A is what I would attach to them. But the point being is, she says she has all these businesses that allow her to, fly a certain way, to be on certain yachts, to travel a certain way. That's what she was basically saying on the podcast. And who am I to count her money and say that she doesn't live that life as opposed to the other women? But she definitely, her words, stood 10 toes down that she lives differently than they do.
They're absolutely going to bring this up at the reunion. It's just interesting because, like, I mean, this is what we're doing. We're talking about this show. As far as we know, Lisa does not have the most money on the show. So the fact that she keeps saying how she lives so differently, it's like you just work a different job in your spare time. You guys are all on the same show. Like, you're known because of being on the show, not for what you were doing before you were on this show.
But she might not have the most money. But people spend their money in different ways. And it could be why, some of these lawsuits might be the issue. The money, Bronwyn and look at Todd. Todd is not wearing designer stuff. At least it doesn't look like it. Todd doesn't. It's Bronwyn who lives the flashy life. It's all about how, it's like a Dorinda's famous quote, money talks, wealth whispers. She might not have the most money in the group, but she might be using her money in a way that gives her a certain lifestyle that's different from the women, just because they choose not to spend their money in that way.
I just don't
That's
think
what
so.
That's what it looks like. Oh no, I could absolutely see Lisa spending money to live a certain lifestyle. That's what I'm saying.
I think Bronwyn can do and does things just as fabulous, if not more fabulous. She just isn't like Lisa.
I think
Bronwyn flying private is not going to make Bronwyn say, I live a different lifestyle than you guys. Do you know what I mean?
But I just think it's all how people choose to spend their money, right? Like Bronwyn was like, sometimes Todd and I don't fly in first class. And it's like, yeah, wealth whispers type thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that I totally could see Lisa spending a bunch of money on a big yacht.
But do you think her life is that different?
I think there's more pomp and circumstance to her life, and they're willing to spend their money in showy ways than a Bronwyn and Todd are. I just do. And so I think she categorizes that. So she would categorize that as, I live a different life because I'm doing bigger things. And it's not that Bronwyn and Todd can't. They just don't.
Yeah. I just think they probably are doing bigger things that Lisa's just unaware of. And just
Maybe.
Because Lisa takes pictures of him and prints them out on poster boards for everyone to see. I love that everyone shaded the yacht picture. They were like, I'm glad this isn't zoomed in so you can tell that this is a picture from a long time ago. Was that a yacht? Was it a houseboat? Was that they were all saying whatever. But I do think that Todd and Bronwyn do over the top things or luxury things. They just don't think it makes them that different than everybody else. And I don't even think doing those things makes categorizes as you live a different life than these people. You're not Rihanna.
No.
You know what
and
I
it was
mean?
interesting in our interview because she was like, well, I don't want to name drop or sound too braggy. And I had not seen Tuesday's episode yet at that time. I interviewed her Tuesday morning. Our episode came out Tuesday. So when I watched, I'm like, you literally said on our podcast, you don't name drop and you're trying to be humble. And then you name drop all these people on the episode. And so what I think the disconnect with Lisa, and I wish I had seen the episode because I would have said this to her, is you say that you don't brag or that you live a humble life or you don't like to name drop, but then you're constantly trying to prove to, and maybe it's not to the women and maybe it's to the audience, but you're trying to show all these people, Callie, imagine if you talked about all the people you knew.
Yeah, no.
Imagine how You don't. And so I think that with Lisa, it's like, why are you trying so hard to convince us of a lifestyle?
I think that's what I'm
You
saying.
live.
Yes.
And she doesn't get that she does that. She's like, well, I do live this life. Cool. But we don't need to know.
That's
Just
what I'm
live it.
saying. I think that Bronwyn and Todd just live their life. But I also don't think, even with everything that Lisa is saying, let's say everything that Lisa's saying is accurate and blah, 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 whatever. Because you vacation on a yacht, because you have a job where you work for celebrities, because like, do I think that Ben Affleck is going to Lisa Barlow's party? No. Ben Affleck is going to a party that Lisa Barlow threw, but he doesn't know who Lisa Barlow is. He just had to go to this party and whatever, partnered with her company or whatever. I don't even understand what she does, to be completely honest. So whatever. But like, he's not going because he's like, oh, it's Lisa's party. Like, that's not why he's going.
Right.
I just don't think that that makes your life that different, especially when your main job, where you spend the most amount of your time, is with these women on the same show. Now, do I think if Kim Kardashian was on a housewife show with somebody like Whitney Rose, she could say, I live a very different lifestyle than Whitney Rose. That's fair. But when everyone's in a general ballpark, I would say it seems like Todd and Bronwyn are like way beyond that ballpark, but everyone else is in that same ballpark. You doing like a few extra things a year does not mean that your life is significantly different than these people.
Yeah. It was a wild statement. It was a wild statement. But I liked playing into it in the interview.
Well, I mean, it's great for the show.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think that she fully believes it.
Yes.
So,
Well, she said, 10
and she
toes
thinks
down.
it's appropriate
I
to
do.
say. Like, her and Heather are friends. Imagine being friends with someone and being like, yeah, but I live like a very different lifestyle than you. Like, we both know that I do very big things. My friend would be like, the fuck are you talking about?
No, 100%. Yeah. But that's a Heather thing. Like, Heather really should have been like, why am I friends with someone who would say this to my face and fully believes it? That's a Heather thing. Whitney's reaction to Lisa in this moment, do you think that it was necessary?
I think from what we've seen 3 episodes in, Whitney is very upset about her business closing and failing. Whitney has been very honest about the failure of her business. So do I think that Whitney's annoyed that it's being brought up again when she's like, I already told all you guys, like, I failed. I think it's annoying because Lisa wasn't there for it. It's like being brought up again. And she's like, I failed and I'm paying back everybody. Like, I'm not getting sued. You're getting sued.
Right.
We are not the same.
Right. And she's right about that. But her getting up, the napkin throw, love. Her getting up in Lisa's face, I'm like, I'm actually shocked that didn't get bigger than it could have. I mean, when she threw the napkin, I thought she was walking out of the room. Imagine my surprise was she was walking around to the table and was like yelling in her face. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Also great camera work. I love seeing the napkin like fly through the air.
It was fantastic.
And best moment is when the waitress came in and was like, are you guys ready to order? And they're full blown screaming at each other. And Heather's just like, we'll take one of everything.
You know, the producers were like, get in there and ask.
100%.
She probably was like, I actually think that they need to incorporate more of that because we see that in OC too, where they're trying to have a cake decorating party and the woman who is the cake decorator, I don't know what to call her. She's like trying to show them what to do. And they're like, she's in the kitchen prepping and they're yelling at each other. And I'm like, we need more of that. Like, I want the civilian in the midst of the housewives. I like that. A waiter, somebody hosting, somebody, whatever it may be. I need more of that because it's great. Like the cake decorator was amazing in this. Like, sign that woman up, dress her up in something else, and bring her back because her reactions were great. Speaking of that, let's move on to OC. So I really don't have like a crazy amount of stuff to say other than to really focus on Tamra. I really wanted Tamra to come back. When it was announced that Tamra was coming, and I don't even remember how I felt when she left and we found out she wasn't coming back the first time.
I don't remember that.
But I felt like it was almost like, okay, I get it. Like, we've reached a point of Tamra.
Yeah.
And then when I found out she was coming back, I was like, thank goodness, we need her desperately.
Well, yeah, OC really struggled.
I'm back to, Tamra's got to go. And I want everybody to hold me accountable that I said this. If Tamra doesn't come back, because we end this episode with her saying, I'm done. She goes to the stairs and closes the door. Yeah, no, on the previews for the next episode, she's back. I want everybody to hold me accountable if she does leave at the end of this season and for some reason they bring her back again. If I start saying I want to see Tamra back, remind me of this. Tamra, this is why I like Emily. I thought Emily and was kind of boring, and and Gina, and I never, bless you, and I never really understood why they had lasted as long as they did. And then you've seen me turn a corner where I'm like, I really like Gina and Emily.
Me too.
Emily, to me, really is so reasonable and can really break things down and call people out in the moment, not in a confessional, in the moment for their behavior, that it is such a skill and so necessary that every franchise needs an Emily. She's not afraid of confrontation. She's not afraid to say, this is what is happening. And it like Tamra breaks down and can't confront it. All she can do is run away and threaten to quit the show.
I could not agree more with you. And I, historically, have not been an Emily fan. And for a few years, I was like, why is she on the show? Like, I didn't like her, didn't like her husband. Now I like her. Now I like her husband. I even like seeing their quirky relationship because it does feel more real. Like, they don't agree on everything. They show the good. They show the bad. They show the difficulties of marriage. They show the difficulties of parenting, co-parenting. I just really appreciate that things seem as genuine, because, like, you know, it's Housewives at the end of the day, but as genuine as they can be. I think that's what we see with Emily. And Emily has friendships, but she is not willing to compromise what she thinks is right or wrong just to be friends with somebody. Yeah. Like, she's friends with Tamra, but she's going to tell Tamra, I don't trust you because of A, B, and C. But, like, we're cool. It's all good. The only person I think she is careful about calling out is Gina. But she has even called Gina out on this show, and vice versa, by the way. Like, they've called each other out. But Emily is the only one that doesn't seem scared to call it for what it is when it's happening.
Right.
And she might be my favorite on OC.
100%. No, she is.
Crazy.
She is. She was last season, too, for me. I
like Shannon last season a lot.
Things you will never hear me say.
I mean, I'm not a Shannon fan, but last season I thought she was great.
Feel sorry for her, but yeah. No, Emily, like, you don't see housewives say when the person who is the subject matter, right, not in the room, when you don't see housewives talk about them, right? So, like, a couple episodes we saw her say, I don't trust Tamra. And you might think Emily's not going to tell Tamra that it's going to come out of the reunion and she's going to backtrack. It's rare that you see them say, hey, by the way, I said I don't trust you and I want to tell you why. Love. Yeah. And then Tamra can't handle it. But everybody watching, it's like,
at dinner, she'll also just be like, well, you said this, didn't you? And then just, like, look like, you did say it. Yeah. So, like, she is so open to just being real about the situation. She is not trying to hide anything.
100%. And as she's explaining to Tamara, this is why I said I can't trust you. She's like, I like you, but I can't be vulnerable with you because I don't know. You're unpredictable, and I don't know if you will use this
it
against me if you get mad at me. And Tamara's like, oh my God, I've just been such a good friend. And this is where I turn on Tamara of, I think you gotta go. Because, and Shannon, you know, to her credit, is like, Tamara can dish it, but she can't take it. I'm tired of that. Just take it, right? Either stay there in the moment, even if you disagree with Emily, stay there in the moment and give it back.
Stick up for yourself.
Give examples. Yes. Give examples of how you've been a better person. Give whatever it may be, but you acting like Emily is so unreasonable or illogical for thinking this way it's too hard to watch. Because it's just like, I don't want to see that. And even gotta give Heather credit. Heather really stood up to Tamara in this episode. And Heather was like,
we don't see that a lot.
I don't trust you. I don't think, And I'm like, that is what we need. We need these women standing to Tamara. Tamara's not used to that. Tamara's used to women either
being scared of her.
backtracking, folding, bending over. And it's like, those days are over because we've had too much of Tamara, as Shannon has pointed out in other episodes. We have too much footage of Tamara doing this over and over and over again, and the tricks aren't working anymore. And we see Tamara falling back on, I'm going through the hardest thing in my life. Feel sorry for me. And people were like, listen, we hold space that you are going through something extremely difficult in real time. However, it doesn't give you the excuse to be a bad friend. And Tamara doesn't know what to do with it anymore. And as a viewer, if you're going through the hardest thing in your life right now, then maybe you shouldn't be on the show right now. How about that?
I just think that, what episode was this of Orange County?
13.
13 episodes in, and Tamara has quote unquote quit and not coming back at least 3 times this season. And I feel like if you threaten that more than once, you got to go. You got to take a break because you can't do it every single time.
Right. 100%. You can't do it every time. And even when she's like saying how she's going to sit down with Katie, and Emily beautifully is like, now hold on a second. You want to sit down with Katie and talk to Katie because her story fits your narrative of Gretchen, but you want to accuse us of being bad friends when we're telling you all the things that Katie has done to harm us, but it's okay for you to sit with her. But I'm like, oh, get it, Emily. And what does Tamara do? She's like, yeah, what's your point? Or runs out. Like she cannot handle it because the games aren't working anymore. We're basically seeing that Tamara's a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
And there ain't no more tricks left.
I think I do like Tamara on the show, but I really liked her when she came back. So I think it's time for another break, and then we can bring her back in a few seasons. Also, it just, at the end of the day, like, not one girl on the show loves her. Not one girl on the show trusts her. So it just isn't working. Yeah. And I guess it just blew my mind that Tamara was really like, you don't trust me? I wish Tamara just would have been like, okay, that's fine. You don't trust me. You don't trust me. I didn't even need Tamara to be like, well, like, why, like, I need you to trust me in this, like, argue it back. I just needed Tamara to just say, okay, you don't trust me. Can we make the cakes now? Or like, I don't trust you either. Yeah. Can we make the cakes? Now I do want to say that Jen going and following the man that Tamara allegedly had an affair with and Jen being like, I just wanted to know. I just wanted to see. I want to know who it is. I do too. Jen being like, I wanted to see that he saw I followed and him give me answers. And then Jen being like, not understanding why Tamara was so upset. It's like, Jen, she's just not the smartest. She's just not the smartest. But she's great for the show. No. Love her for the show. But Jen is just so innocent and just not
the sharpest tool in the shed. We need that on the show, but her being like, yeah, I mean, I did. I just wanted to see if he saw. And her not realizing it would get back to say, just the whole thing was just classic Jen. Classic Jen. It reminds me of, who was the woman on the show who came out, who was married, but now is a lesbian? And wasn't her name Bronwyn?
Yes. You know what's weird is I thought it was Bronwyn, but I was like, it can't be Bronwyn, but I'm pretty sure it's Bronwyn.
I think it's Bronwyn. It's spelled differently, I think. But Bronwyn, it's like giving that kind of energy. It's just, I just want to pat Jen on the back and just be like, okay, Jen. Okay. Okay. Like, yeah, it's, I'm trying to think what else happens in
love
this
Jen.
episode.
Heather not being funny. Do you think Heather's funny?
No, we don't think Heather's funny.
But I think that you can be a comedy actor and not be funny? Maybe? Like it's acting.
No. She could totally be a comedic act. She could be in some, here's the thing.
She can be in a comedy.
Actress. You got to be funny. But yes, she can be in a comedy show.
Scripted.
Correct.
But even then, like, you still have to be able to have like good timing. You have to be able to deliver.
Comedic timing's everything.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Like, would she be called to be on Curb Your Enthusiasm where you have to riff off one of another and there is no script? It's just like, this is the scene and you have to keep going? No. But maybe she's aspiring to do that, which is why she is in the Groundlings. Here's the thing. I feel sorry for Heather. And maybe as a mom, you'll understand this. I don't know if you had to put your career on hold at any point, but this is where I do feel sorry for Heather because she was on this trajectory. She chose to be a mom and she has no regrets from it. And now she wants her career back. And I feel sorry for her that the women don't seem to be as understanding. They are kind of laughing and making fun of it. And she's trying really hard, and this isn't the first season we've seen it, to prove of, guys, I was on a certain path and I took a break and I'm coming back and that's very hard for me. I'm the oldest person in the group. I'm trying to prove that this isn't something new to me. And I just feel really bad for her because I truly can only imagine how hard that is. Entertainment world is a very unforgiving world. It is, the ageist thing is very real. You can only have a certain amount of time to be this before you're the mom, maybe even the grandmother, maybe even the cougar aunt. You know what I mean? And so I can only imagine the struggle. And I think it is very courageous for her to throw her hat back in the ring.
You're being so nice.
It doesn't make her funny. No. It doesn't make her funny. I'm just noting the reality of trying to get back in a career that is in an industry that does not reward you for the past or for being older.
Yeah.
And so I feel sorry for her in that sense, but I'm not going to sit here and tell her she's funny because of it.
I agree. I really wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to go to law school, got pregnant, and I was like, all right, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to wait for a while. And I'm still waiting. But I mean, I still have a career, so I didn't have to like fully stop, which by the way, so does she. She has a career. I do feel bad for her, but I'm not going to sit here and act like she had this trajectory of being a star and getting pregnant. Stop that.
It might have. I have no idea. No idea.
I mean, based off of her work.
But she got pregnant. So, like, I don't want to say, like...
But she didn't get pregnant at 18.
But she had babies back to back to back to back.
Yes,
so how many kids
she was
5?
working up until that 5.
Right.
5 kids.
But, like, I think there's 4 or 5.
4. I'm almost positive it's 4.
But I just, sometimes you have to keep... You know, like how it is in the acting industry, like you have to stay front of mind. You have to go to parties. You have to network. You have to be like, make friends with producers and directors and go on multiple auditions. And all of that was stunted for her as she became a mom. and had kids. So
yes, but am I doing this
so
math
who
right?
knows? Who knows
her
what she
oldest
could have.
kid is 21.
Mm-hmm.
She's 56.
But not everybody makes it big in their 20s, is my point. Like,
No, I get
Coleman-
that, but I'm just saying she had her first kid at 35. It's not like she didn't have like a lot of time to act. And then she like her whole career got derailed because of children. I don't think that happened. I think that her career had to stop, and in Hollywood, having babies, especially back to back, and especially at that age, by the time she came back from 35 to, I'm guessing she has 4 kids, so let's give her 10 years, which maybe not that long, but still, you're a different person from 35 to 45. So like she came back and isn't going to be like the same. She's not going to get casted for the same roles that she did at 35. I personally don't think that she was on the trajectory of acting for 15 years and she was just in like random roles. She probably could have kept doing that for a long time. Do I think that she was going to be Meryl Streep? No, I don't think that's the way that her life was going. Is there a chance? Sure. Also from what we've seen.
Correct.
I'm not going to sit here and say that she's an excellent actress. So like, I'm just being like a realist about it.
She's also 20 years out the game.
No, but you could see her old stuff still.
Well, and maybe that's why she had not gotten there yet.
But wait, I want to say that I do agree. The one thing I do agree with you is I think a lot of things are hard to take back up, especially at 56 years old. Trying to become an actress again at 56 years old and be criticized and not get the bookings that you want, that is really tough. So I do applaud her for like throwing her hat back in the ring, not being scared of failure, and at this age in an industry that is incredibly harsh. That's great. And I think everyone should do it. So like I'm super happy that she's doing it. Yeah. But she's just not funny.
No, I think it's two separate things. I think the thing with Heather is what could have been. You know, had I not had like what could have been, because it's like I look at people like most actors don't make it big in their 20s. First off, most actors don't make it. Second to that is most of them don't make it big in their 20s. Like I look at Glenn Powell's trajectory. He's 36. He just is like boom, boom, and he's been in the business for like since his early 20s.
I feel like it's been some years of him being pretty popular.
Glenn became a name in the last couple of years. He had roles. Like, I didn't even realize he was in The Dark Knight until somebody pointed it out.
Okay, he was in The Dark Knight. Now, what was Heather's biggest moment?
I guess my point is, we can agree to disagree. My point is, I think for Heather, she never knows.
Right. People can pop at any time. You never know.
Yeah. Like, Coleman Domingo made it big in his late 40s. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't know. And
Heather
I think
can
that's
still
Heather.
make it big.
Right. That's what Heather. I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying in her mind, it's the what if. But two separate issues. To your point, Heather's not funny. And the Bravo editors did this one thing where when they had a moment, there was like a blissful moment of a couple of minutes where they were making the cake and they're all talking and they're not arguing. And Heather makes a joke. And they did that on purpose. I can't even remember what the joke was. She makes a joke and nobody laughs. And they did it on purpose because to highlight, Heather's not funny. And I think Heather needs to understand you could have had this, or you did have this acting career, and we never know what could have been because you had kids. But that doesn't mean you're funny. And she has to accept that. Heather's not funny. And I get it. You want to be funny. It's a trait I think most people would love to have. To be funny is a really cool thing. But Heather's not funny. And I loved Gina confronting her about this. She's like, I'm sorry. I'm not saying you're not a good actress, but I don't look at you as funny. And Heather's like, did you know I did stand up? When, Heather? When? I wouldn't describe you as witty. I wouldn't describe you as funny. You are smart. You are, a great mother, a good friend. It seems like you might be a great actress, but it's okay. You're not funny. It's okay. You might be good at improv and still not be funny. I've seen the improvs that just aren't funny.
We talked about this last week. We don't even know if Heather can relax.
Yeah. She is tight.
So I think it's hard to be an I wish everyone could have seen that. Hopefully you guys are watching on YouTube, so you did see it. I think it's hard to be a good actress when you're that tight.
But baby, she's the best of it because she can unravel when the scene
Maybe
starts.
she can like play that role though. Like I would shy away from comedy and go into like cast me as like the stuck-up stepmother.
Yeah,
You
she'd
know?
be great.
Yeah.
But this, you know what my hope is? There are a lot of actors that watch Housewives. And if you really want to do the Lord's work, you will cast Heather. You will cast Heather in a comedic role. And then you will let it speak for itself. A lot of, like, Ben Stiller watches the show. These shows. I don't know if you watch RHOSLC.
There's some big actors that watch all and act like actors.
Please.
I'm saying that as like plural actors, actresses.
Yeah.
That watch the show.
Let's put it to rest. Cast Heather in a comedic role. And a comedic role that is not scripted, that is like
you have to riff a little, you have to improv a little, yeah.
Improv, Laugh Factory, please reach out to Heather and let her test out some material. Give her a microphone. Let her do, matter of fact, forget all that. The reunion. We've seen people perform their songs. We've seen on Watch What Happens Live, dramatic readings of monologues. Give Heather a microphone and a spotlight and let her do comedic work. She's done stand-up before. Give her the opportunity. We're not even asking for new material. Use the material you used when you did stand-up before. I guarantee you still have it. This is all I ask. Give her an opportunity to shine. And it sounds a little petty and shady because I don't believe that,
it would be amazing if they did
things.
an episode where she was doing stand-up.
And we've seen it on other Bravo shows, but the reality is Heather believes in herself. So if she confidently believes in herself, let's give her the opportunity to show us what she can do. This is easy. BravoCon.
Oh Lord.
Want to come to Heather's comedic set? They do a live Watch What Happens Live.
I'm going to that.
Give Heather the opportunity. This is easy. This is easy work. Heather, put the haters to bed. This is easy.
I am for that, and I will be there.
Yeah, this is easy. I'm waiting for it. It's can easily happen. And she's got time to prepare new material. We got to get into Miami.
I know.
Go for it. Let's start with the bombshell. There's really two things. Gertie being insufferable and the bombshell that they gave us, which I thought they had teased. And I thought they were going to give us the bombshell in like the third part. So,
I'm really happy they gave it to us. Can I give them props for giving us the bombshell?
Yeah.
In episode 1. Okay. Moving on to Miami. We did the reunion, or we got the first part of the reunion. There's really only 2 big things that happened. Over half of this reunion was Gertie. Like, I like Gertie, and I don't like how everything happened with Julia. And she did make a good point that Julia's done it 3 times, but like, she would not let anyone else speak on her side of the couch. Mm-hmm. And like, it was just, I don't know what, her being like, I just came here to listen. No, you didn't. You weren't listening. Yeah. You weren't willing to forgive Julia, which like, I'm also fine with that, but don't make it like the way Gertie went about this first part of the reunion. And then afterwards, like when they took a break, being like, Adriana, like, you don't understand. You don't understand, but like, it's okay. It went great. That went great. I was like, take a breath. That did not go good for you, Gertie.
Yeah. Anytime Gertie kept saying things that had happened and then they would show the footage, or she would say, that didn't happen. They show the footage and it was like, no, everything that they're saying actually happened.
Yeah.
it made me feel like I was really trying to understand, why is she so combative? Why is she coming in here? Why did these things happen where, they were like, hey, we don't agree with that. We don't agree with that. And then she was going in the media and saying the complete opposite. I feel like there's some underlying thing. And all I could think about was, does Gertie feel a certain way? I don't know why I kept going back to race. I felt like there's some kind of underlying feeling that Gertie has that the women are against her, or maybe she feels left out, or maybe they don't give her the same grace. I kept going. There is something that Gertie is internalizing that she was not expressing that allowed her to be, she was making faces. She was being really immature about it. And I'm
Very
like, what?
immature.
What is it? The issue is not the issue. That's what I kept thinking with Gertie. There's something else deeply within Gertie that she feels about these women, that they're against her in a certain way that's not coming out. Because nothing she said made sense. Alexia apologized to her and she was like, I don't think that was an apology. And then Andy was like, she just did. And then she was like, oh, okay. I'm like, she was not hearing a thing.
No,
she came in with a mission and that was it.
And talking like a million miles per minute and not allowing, like, Adriana and Lisa were trying to be helpful. And she was like, she kept reaching and telling them, stop. I'm like, you can't be the only one that talks.
Oh my God.
It was really rough. And although I am generally on Gertie's side with this, by the end of the reunion, I was like, Gertie, shut up. Like, I was done.
Yeah. It was... I was really like, Gertie, are you like, what's happening? And that's what Adriana was trying to do. Adrian
thing.
Oh, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. But she's not going to say that out loud. And I think the reason why I think you're right, or like, I think we're on the right track with the race thing, is because I think she's like appalled that Julia has gotten away with this time and time again. And it's like, if a Black woman ever acted like that over and over and over again, we'd be gone.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just can't, oh my God. Okay, we're going to have to watch this separately and we're going to have to do it on Tuesday for the news of the week. But producer Olivia put Heather's YouTube stand-up in the chat. We don't have time to talk about it, but we will talk about it. That was, I was like, it's something else. So, and you're right. 100% you nailed it. That is exactly what it is. Exactly what it is.
And then the only other big thing, well, I guess it's two big things. I'm so happy Alexia's not with Todd. She seems so much healthier. The way she was talking, I was just like, oh, thank God. She finally admitted that the party was about Todd to Chihuahua. So I'm really happy that she's in a better place and made the right decision to get rid of Todd. But the big reveal, which, like, we have to give so much props for them for actually showing us, because they don't like to show us. They like to leave us on cliffhanger, which they still left us on a cliffhanger because apparently it completely blows up part 2 of the reunion. But Julia says that she had sex with Adriana in the Hamptons, and then they fooled around in the Versace mansion.
Was this was when, remember when Julia was so sick? Was that night in the Hamptons? Julia was so sick the morning she woke up. And this was in the Hamptons, I thought. And she was like throwing up. And remember the ambulance had to come and all of this. Then she was like super dehydrated. I wonder if that night, because she kept taking shots. And we've never seen her drink again. And I wonder if that was the night that it happened, because she was wasted. They had to bring an ambulance there. I think.
Where did she like propose to Adriana? Was that in the Hamptons or Adriana? Sorry.
I think so. I think the friendship thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that is weird. The whole thing's fucking weird. Julia's been caught multiple times cheating on Martina. So they have to have some sort of open relationship, which we see. Andy's going to ask her about it in part 2. Julia also in part 2 is accusing Adriana of holding this over her head and using it as blackmail against her.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely, like, do you believe it?
I think it's true. I mean, in the preview for next week, Adriana says, I would have held your little secret for the rest of my life.
Okay. I believed it. I believed it immediately because you could see the nerves in Julia. Like, she was scared.
I believe
to say it.
But also, like, I think Julia will say it and do anything to, like, not really take accountability. So, and she's just so crazy that I'm like, I could believe her making it up. I could believe it being true. But I do think
it's true.
I think
because it could jeopardize her marriage.
Well, I think it's just like a fact. Like from what we've seen in the previews, it seems like they both are on the same page. It happened. They had sex in the Hamptons. I would the only other thing I would say about it, because I'm really, really excited to see part 2 of the reunion, but I am like, was Adriana okay with you outing her?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, so that's like that's not for me.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. I think that's why we see Adriana get up and run away.
Yeah.
But
part 2 is about to be fiery.
So good.
Also,
so
the women
good.
had no idea. Not one of them.
I know, which I'm also like, I think they shared a room in the Hamptons because I'm like, how did everybody pass out? Did you wait till, I don't know. I would just think that I think they shared a room, but I can't remember. Yeah, the women act like they had no idea.
Also, in the previews, you see Lisa go, did you?
Yeah, I saw. She said, did you scissor? Did you scissor? And she was like, no, but still, doesn't mean that they didn't have sex.
Yeah.
Well, that is a great way to end it. You guys, we gave you a jam-packed episode this week. So good, the 3 shows that are on right now. We will be back on Tuesday. We will talk about Heather's comedy. We will talk about the news of the week. I may or may not be joined by a guest host, but I will be there talking all things Bravo in the news. And until then, guys, have a safe weekend, and we'll see you Tuesday. Bye.